I am Hunter.
You can debate it all you want, but there's no place like Colorado for elk.
You can't over-prepare. It's so cool to hear those bulls.
That's what gets the blood flowing. It's as good as it gets.
Now my idea was to take some of my friends from the industry. Clint, you know that NASCAR guy, Clint Bundy with Matthews Archery. I wanted them to experience some of the fun I've had at Banded Peak Ranch. I've had some great times, I've had some frustrating times, but that's elk hunting. It can always be frustrating, but it doesn't matter because you're in the elk woods.
Until you do it, you have no idea this type of terrain and what it's going to put on your body and just everything.
It's beautiful, 60,000 acres. Probably more elk than I've ever seen on any hunt that I've ever been on.
Well, right now we're hunting early season, the first bow hunt of the year, and it's hot. It's been windy lately.
I knew what I had to do to get ready for this hunt.
This was only her second archery elk hunt, and she's never bagged one. And I definitely wanted to make sure she was in the so-called driver's seat first.
We need to get right up to those trees. We need to kind of hurry.
So we got on a hill and it just wasn't working out, so we switched locations. I mean, they just weren't vocalizing anything back to us. There wasn't a bull in that area, so it was a good call.
He was trying to second guess what he should have done, and his gut told him, head back to the truck and let's go high. I spotted the bull out of the corner of my left eye. It was making a wide circle around us. Travis kept Corinne focused, and that bull passed right up in front of him.
He was a 5x5, and I was just praying that this was not going to bite me in the butt. Beautiful bull, just, I don't know, 2.5-year-old young. So decided to pass on him.
And it was right away on the first morning. So I don't blame Corinne for passing. I probably would have did the same thing myself. The bull walked off, and we headed on to our next encounter.
My brother and me grew up in a pro shop that was family owned in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. My family owned that for 25 years. When I was 18, I got a scholarship to go to A&M, Texas A&M, to shoot for them on their varsity archery program, and just had a great time shooting and going to school. And then I knew I just wanted to get closer to home when I came back, and started at Matthews immediately after my undergrad was finished and have been there ever since.
We hit another dark slope. We could hear a bull below us, right in his tree. Another bull beyond that, bugling. Every time, though, we kind of closed in, it was just slowed down. They shut up. But you know what? There was a lot of country there. This ranch has close to 60,000 acres. It wasn't like we were going to run out of terrain to call elk on.
Stick around as our early season elk hunt continues from Banded Peak Ranch in Colorado when North American Hunter returns. North American Hunter is brought to you by Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. M&P by Smith & Wesson. Can-Am Off-Road Vehicles. Can-Am, the ride says it all. And by Matthews Archery. Catch us if you can.
Place should be rocking and rolling.
Early season elk is the order of the day here at Banded Peak Ranch in Colorado. Mark Kaiser and Corinne Bundy of Matthews Archery are on the move. And even though the season just opened, they've already had one close encounter.
Travis kept Corinne focused, and that bull passed right up in front of him.
He was a 5x5, and it was a beautiful bull, just, I don't know, 2.5-year-old young. So decided to pass on him, and that proved beneficial later on.
Because we had heard even another bugle further up the ridge.
We actually were sitting down, just taking a break, and we got caught off guard, to be honest. We were not set up in the right location. Our wind wasn't right, and these two bull came in. One was a little bit younger.
I think it was a 5 or a 5x6 bull, passed right in front of us, 40 yards. Still just a little bit too much timber to shoot. Maybe not quite a shooter either, but right behind him, a good 6-point. That bull was a shooter, but he was a little further out.
He looked like a good bull, but again, our wind was not right.
Well, those bulls just faded away over the ridge. And we felt like maybe it was worth one last shot. The day was heating up, but that bull was still grunting and squealing from time to time, and that meant he was still interested. Travis wanted to make one more move, so he slid up this ridge, and right in front of us opened up a nice meadow. There was a perfect little pocket rimmed by a couple small spruce trees. I went on the complete other side of it. I couldn't even hardly see them, just to cover the back door. Travis started to call. The bull still answered, but it wasn't aggressive. It was just a casual reply.
So we was sitting there, and I looked over at her and I said, well, I don't think this is gonna happen. And right after I said that, here steps out a big old nice bull.
My bull came in from probably about 80 yards out, and just like on a string. Probably at about 60 stopped, posed for us, just a beautiful bull. Like water was dripping from his mouth.
Range him, we can still get a shot. But he's coming on, so let's just let him come. The bull kept marching down, silent, quiet. Everything looked like Corinne was going to get her shot. Now, I didn't know, I couldn't see any of this, but that's what they were telling me.
And then he came in basically walking straight at us. And, you know, I thought maybe he was seeing a little bit movement, but I think he was just looking for that cow. Couldn't ask for anything better, and just poked him, and he ran off and just called her a day. It was done for him, and it was just great to see him expire quickly.
He went behind some timber to where we couldn't get a shot on him. And then he laid down, and that was it, game over.
He was down for good, and we let him have a few last minutes of his own quiet time before we revved it up with a big celebration for Corinne's first big bull elk.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful 6.
And instantly I was just like giddy, so stinking excited. It was amazing.
Welcome back to North American Hunter, where Corinne Bundy of Matthews has arrowed her first bull elk.
Couldn't ask for anything better, and just poked him, and he ran off and just called her a day. It was done for him.
After a long pack job getting that bull off the mountain, it was time for me. No, hit the brakes. It was time for Clint Boyer. He had finally shown up at camp. So Clint and I teamed up that evening and headed out with Travis again. Instead of just hammering the mountain, we went to a blind where Travis had said elk file through with regularity. We set up in the blind, and I quizzed Clint. I had his full attention. I loved to hear about all the racing things, the race he'd just been in, what was coming up, how his cars were running, all that cool stuff. And suddenly, Travis said, "You just need to shut up. There's an elk coming." Here comes a young bull. Still in velvet, no shooter, but actually a lot of entertainment.
The biggest thing is for me, it's just like always, you come out here for a release. You know, there's no cell phones, just out here having fun and enjoying what this is all about. And
for him to see an elk up close like that, Hey, that's a great way to start any archery elk hunt.
And it's not always killing an animal. It's being out here and getting away and, you know, and enjoying the outdoors. The great folks at Matthews sent me a bow, the new Creed XS. I love it. Came set up. It was you know, relatively easy for me to pick up and shoot accurate, you know, 30, 40, 50 yards like you need to be able to shoot on these elk hunts.
You could tell everybody was excited to go hunting, kind of the first hunt of the year. The guides are just as excited as everybody else. It's finally time to go hunt.
You know, Randy did such a great job of calling, and you know, as soon as you call and you hear that baby bugle back, you're like, woo, here we go. And then nothing. Then you can't find his ass. But then he'll call again and you get excited. But that's what keeps the blood flowing. You know, I don't like sitting and just waiting, you know, for something to come by and hopefully, you know, it's a big bull. But I'm definitely walking around, moving, and being up in them mountains in that pretty country. That's what I like.
Everybody knew it was early in the season. Everybody knew it was going to be kind of on the tougher end. It's warm. It's extremely warm for September 4th. You know, it's going to get better and better, but we've had success. We've had some luck. Everybody's seeing elk.
That night, Clint and his guide witnessed a special treat at a waterhole. Seems the heat got the best of this mother bear and her cub, and they decided it was bath time.
Racing for a championship, it's crunch time for us. So to be able to get away from that and you know, get out here and enjoy it and, you know, release a little bit is what it's all about for me. I mean, it's a perfect time. It was good that I was able to at least get an elk hunt in here early in the season.
You know, for 2 or 3 days, you know, everybody gets to relax and then go back to racing cars or being the CEO. So I think it's been good for everybody.